Hey, how's it going? This is Andy. In this video, I want to show you step by step on how you can actually get a website up and running without any of the headaches like using coding such as HTML and CSS. I want to show you how easily it is to actually get a website up and running in no time without going through years of studying and reading up books. Just follow along this video and you'll be surprised at how actually easy it is. So when it comes to actually building a website and making it go live, really all you need is 4 things. Firstly, you'll need a domain. And what a domain is, it's pretty much just the name of your website. It's the URL right at the top of the bar that leads you to your website. And to get a domain, you have to actually register it through a domain registrar. Next, we have a hosting server. A hosting server is where you're going to house all of your goodies. So stuff like your data, your information, your images, all your text, anything that's going to be within your website, it needs to be on a server. Think of it as storing all of your information on another person's computer that's constantly on 24 hours a day. Then once you've got your domain and hosting, next you'll want to install WordPress. WordPress is just a content managing system where it helps you really build up awesome looking websites without the use of any coding. It's also known as a blogging platform, but WordPress has evolved so much now that you can pretty much build any website that you like as long as you find the right themes. Which leads to the last point, which is a theme. And a theme is pretty much going to be the appearance of your website. So once you've got all of these 4 checked, you've just built yourself a website. And like I said, WordPress was designed to be as a blogging platform, but it's so powerful now that a lot of webmasters are using it for all different types of purposes. So you've got your blogs, you could build up business websites, as well as e-commerce shops. The power behind WordPress is really endless, and there are millions of developers constantly trying to find ways to improve it. So let's talk about the costs. So how much will it cost you to actually build one of these websites up? And here is really going to shock many of you. I'm going to break down what it's going to actually cost you on the bare minimum. To actually register your domain name, it's going to cost you a bit under $14, and this is per year. For a hosting server, this you actually have to pay monthly, and you're looking about $10 per month. When it actually comes to installing WordPress, that's completely for free. What might actually cost you is the add-ons that you decide to install. So like themes, for example, there are premium themes where you pay anywhere between $20 to $100, or you can use free themes. So with themes, it's really going to vary, but if we're going to be talking about bare minimum, then it's going to be free. I added logo at the bottom here because many of you might not have the skills to actually create your own logo, and that's fine. And logo is really important for each website because it really brands that website as a whole. And so it's really important to actually get a nice looking logo that suits your website. And you can easily go onto fiverr.com and you can actually get a logo done for you at the cost of $5. And so there you have it. This is the total cost, the bare minimum that's going to cost you to actually build up a website. So we're looking at about $30. Of course, that's only going to be the initial fee. The hosting server is an ongoing cost, but you can actually get that reduced by using a coupon code that I've provided below this video. So the cost doesn't look too bad considering that some people might pay up to thousands of dollars to actually get a website up and running. So before I actually dive in and show how to set up your website, I want to show you some examples of the potential websites that you can actually build. So what you actually have in front of you is a blog. This is the blog that my business partner and I actually built and update. As you can see, it looks pretty slick. As you scroll down, there's a featured image slide over here. All of this is all done within WordPress, so it's really easy to do. As you can see, these are all individual posts, and it's chronically ordered, as a blog should. And you've got a few sidebars over here, and a few banners, okay? And all of this is really easy to set up, which you'll find out in a second. The next type of website I want to show you is the business type site. As you can see, this looks quite professional. You've got all of your different pages up here. You've got a feature image that spreads across from one side to the other. You've got a few buttons that can tell what their work is actually about and their services. Scrolling down, you got more feature boxes as well, and all of this is all customizable. Just scrolling down, you've got a bit about them, the team, testimonials, and a contact form. And so not bad for a business type website, right? Lastly, I want to show you an example of an e-commerce shop. And you can see that this is probably not the greatest looking website, but you can see that there is a cart up at the top here. You've got different product categories, and these are the actual individual products that they can purchase. So you can have an add to cart button, the pricing, you can have ratings, you can have specials, and all of this can be easily built on WordPress. So enough with the examples. it's time to actually start getting into the meat and potato on how to actually build up your website step by step. So I'm over at namecheap.com. That's namecheap.com. And what Namecheap is, it's just a domain registrar. So every time you need to get yourself a domain name, you actually have to register through a registrar. And the domain registrar of my choice is Namecheap. They make it really easy to actually find a domain, register it, without actually hassling you with any other kind of promotions. So to get started, you first want to actually come up with the domain name and just type it into the search bar to see if it's actually available or not. As the internet is very huge and there's millions and millions and millions of websites out there, sometimes the very first website name that you come up with might be already taken. But just a simple search in this bar here and you'll be able to find out exactly if you can actually register it or not. So I'm just going to type in Ando's demo site and check to see if that's actually available or not. So just once I've typed that in, just click on search. So the results are in and the domain name is available, so that's awesome. As you see, this will cost me about just under $14 per year, and that's Australian dollars. I personally like to keep with the .com extension because .com is the most popular extension out there. It's the first thing that generally people will type in and it's easy to remember. But as you can see, if you scroll down here, you can see you can choose other extensions as well, each varying in different cost. So you got .net for $16, a .club for $10, .io, and different countries as well if you like, and so on. But like I said, I personally prefer sticking with the .com, so I'm just going to click on this little add to cart button. You'll see that for 1 year registration it's going to cost me $13.72, and let's just actually check out the cart. So the reason why I really like Namecheap is because it's really straightforward. You're just going in there, getting yourself a domain without any other hassle. So as you can see, you can decide how long you actually want to register your domain for. So you've got the choice of 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, all the way up to 10 years. So if you do register it for a longer term, you'll get a bit of a discount. But for now, I'm just going to stick with the 1 year. Another neat thing about Namecheap is they do offer a free Whois guard. And what a Whois guard is, it's a privacy protection. So that you get a year for free. So your name, your personal email, and your phone number is all protected through this Whois guard. And you get that for free for 1 year. Next, they've got a few add-ons for your actual domain. So they do have the option of hosting your actual domain as well. But generally, I like to keep my domain name and my hosting service separate. This is so that I don't have all my eggs in the same basket. Just in case if anything does happen to either companies, I still have one or the other. So if there are any kind of problems, it makes it really easy to transfer all your data to different servers. You also got the option of securing your website using an SSL. I'm not so sure about the technical side of this, but generally I just skip through it. The next two options are rather quite pointless, and so I'm just going to completely move on and let's confirm our order. So next you're going to have to actually create an account. To create an account with Namecheap, it is free, and this is where it's going to store your domain name. We will be making a few accounts throughout this video, so make sure that you do write down your information somewhere and keep it safe, just so that you don't forget your login details. Again, you will receive an email with your registration information, but it's always nice to have a backup. All it takes to create an account is a username, a password, your first name, your last name, and your email address. But since I've already created an account before, I'm just going to quickly sign in, and I'll see you in the next page. Alrighty then, so now it's actually time to add in our contact information. And over here, it's really just your personal details, like your first name, your last name. If you are registering on behalf of a company, then you would want that tick. Otherwise, just untick it if it's for your own personal use. Next, just fill in all your personal details, like your address, your city, your state, your postcode, and your country. Just to be on the safe side, make sure that you do put in your real details, just so it doesn't bite you in the butt. The last thing to tick off is your account security. You have the choice of enhancing your security by adding a phone verification. So if you were to make any changes, you'll also be notified by your phone with a special code, and you're going to have to enter in that special code. So if you want that enabled, just tick that box. Otherwise, let's continue. The next step of the process is just to update your setup. So if you want to change your contact details, maybe because you're actually building a website for a client, then this is where you actually want to update your contact list. So over here is you can actually add a new contact, and this is where you actually want to put your client's details in. Otherwise, if you're building it for yourself, then just keep everything as user default account contact and leave everything as is. And that's the same with administrative contact, your technical contact, and your billing contact. If you do plan on building more than one site for yourself, then you can also tick this little box here where you save the configuration above, so that the next time you buy a domain, everything's already set up. So simply just tick that box and let's continue. Now we're at the billing process, and there are a few different payment methods that you can actually choose from. So you can actually do a card payment of either Visa, MasterCard, or American Express. So just fill in your details for your card, and you're way to go. Otherwise, you also have the option of doing PayPal and account funds. So I'll leave that up to you on how you actually want to pay. Below is your receipt, where you actually want your receipt to be sent to, and then your renewal settings as well. So whether you want it to be automatically renewed after it's expired. So since we're only registering it for 1 year, as you can see it's only 1 year, it can automatically renew it for you every single year, so you can just tick that. The same goes with your Whois card. Because you get the first year for free, you can tick that so that you'll automatically purchase the Whois card for the following year. Again, you can save all of this configuration above by simply ticking this box, and everything would be automatically done for you for the next purchase. Lastly, we just got to confirm our order to make sure that we're happy with everything that we've set up. So how long we've actually registered for, so 1 year, we're happy with that. The free Whois card, and our payment method. So my payment on choice is actual PayPal. I'm happy with all the settings, and let's just check out PayPal. So I'm going to quickly fill in my PayPal details, make the payment, and then I'll see you on the other side. Alrighty, so our purchase has successfully gone through. As you can see at the bottom here, it's just a little small summary. So you've got your domain of 1 year, your free Whois card, and how much we got charged for it. So that's how you actually register your domain name, but that's only half the battle. Next, we actually need to get ourselves a hosting server so that we can actually combine the two and make our website go live. Without a hosting server, the domain is just the name. You need a place to store all your information. So the hosting server of my choice is actually HostGator, and that's hostgator.com. As you can see, the time of shooting this video, there's actually a 50% off on all hosting, so that's pretty awesome. Of course, by the time you watch this promotion might be gone, but you can always use a coupon code to actually get that reduced as well to get a discount of 25% off. So HostGator does provide many different servers that you can actually choose from. So you've got your web hosting, your reseller, your VPS, or dedicated. For what we're after, in most cases, all you need is a web hosting. So below you have 3 plans to choose from. You've got a hatchling plan, a baby plan, or a business plan. I highly recommend you choose a baby plan. You get unlimited domains, unlimited disk space, and unlimited bandwidth. Opposed to hatchling plan, you only get 1 domain and everything stays the same. And the difference is just really a couple of bucks. Business plan, on the other hand, is more for your e-commerce type shops. So they do offer a private SSL and a private IP, but it does cost about double than the actual baby plan. But for the purpose of this video, let's stick with the baby plan. So I'm just going to click up sign up. So HostGator servers are really reliable, they're budget friendly, and it does exactly what you need it to do, which is store all your data. So because we're not actually registering a domain with HostGator, which they do provide, what we actually want to click on is that I already own this domain. So if you click on this tab here, all you have to do is just enter in the domain name that you just purchased with Namecheap. So I've just entered in the domain that I just purchased, which is andysdemosite.com. So after I've typed in my domain name, HostGator also sells you on other domain names that you can actually purchase as well. So as you can see, if you wanted to purchase another domain name with a different extension, you can do that by just ticking on it, and it will just add it to the cart. But we're happy with just this one here. I don't want to purchase any other domains because I find it completely pointless. So let's just move on. So next it's time to actually choose our hosting plan. Again, you have the option of choosing a different plan from here as well, but let's just stick with the baby plan. So as usual, if you do buy it in bulk, you do get a bit of a discount. So as you can see, you have the option of paying for every month. You could pay for the first 3 months, your 6 months, all the way to 36 months. And so the actual 50% would only apply for what you purchase here. Okay, so if you're only buying for month per month, that means only the first month you'll get 50% off. And then every following month after that, you're paying whatever the actual original price is, which is $10 a month. Otherwise, if you do decide to actually purchase, let's say 1 year's worth, you'll pay $5 times 12. So that's $60. And then after the 12 months, you have to pay the original rate of $10 per month. So it's up to you how you actually want to go about it. The promotion only works for whatever you purchase here, and then anything after that, it goes to your original rate. So let's just stick to 12 months. Next, you'll also have to create your own account, so your username and security pin. As you can see, they're quite strict on what you can actually use for your username, so make sure that it's all lower cases. It has to start with a letter, and it must be 2 to 8 characters long. So I just quickly filled those 2 in, and let's move on. Next is your billing information, and again, this is all your personal details, so I'm actually not going to walk you through this because I'm sure you already know your own details to actually fill in. You also have to fill in your payment details as well, so whether you're paying through credit card or PayPal, it's up to you. Just got to fill in those before you actually move on to the next step. So below your actual personal details, you've got additional services. Personally, I don't go with any of these add-ons. So I just untick them both. But of course, it's entirely up to you on how you actually want to go about it. If you do want to use HostGator services, then just tick any of these boxes. Otherwise, generally, I just skip right past it and leave it blank. So HostGator actually automatically populated a coupon code for me, which is Mardi Gras. And that was the actual 50% off discount. If you're watching this video and the promotion's gone, you can always use the coupon code SWEET25 discount, and that will get you 25% off on the first billing cycle that you do purchase. So all you have to do is just type in SWEET25 discount, click on validate, and then it will automatically update your total discount. So as you can see, it's been discounted of $30. So just a little heads up, by using this actual code here, this is my referral code. So if you do decide to purchase HostGator and use this code, I will be getting a little bit of credit for it. But in return, it's going to help me create more of these videos to assist you on your business. So I really do appreciate it if you do use this code. But once you're happy with your order, all you have to do is just tick on this box here, make sure that you do read the terms and service and privacy policy, of course, and then just check out. Once the payment actually goes through, the next step is to actually point your name servers from your hosting to your domain so that you can actually connect the two and make your website go live. So you should receive an email from HostGator, something similar to this. Here is your account details for your server, and these are the name servers that I was actually talking about. So as you can see, you've got two name servers, you've got 1 and 2. To actually point your name servers over to your domain, just simply head over to Namecheap, log in. At the top here, just hover your mouse over your actual username, and what we want to do is manage domains, so just click into that. So next, find your domain that you just bought. So over here is Andy's domain site. Click on it. On the sidebar over the left here, you'll see transfer DNS to web host. Just click onto that. And this is where you want to enter your two name servers. So your number 1 and your number 2. So enter your first one onto the first line, your second one onto the second line, and then press save changes. So I'm just going to quickly do that. So these are the two name servers that I just entered in. Just click on save changes. And now our name servers has been updated. So it will take anywhere between 2 to 4 hours, right up to 48 hours, for your domain name to actually connect to your hosting server. Before that, you can't actually do anything with your website just yet, so you're going to have to be patient. You will receive an email from Namecheap saying that it's successfully connected. So for now, I'm just going to take a little breather, and once it's done connected, I'll get back into actually installing WordPress. Okay then, so my hosting server finally pointed over to my domain name, which is andysdemosite.com. A handy way to actually check out if you're unsure if it's successfully pointed over is to actually head over to your website. So the website that you just purchased on Namecheap, if you type that into the search bar, this window should appear. And this tells you that your website's actually live, but there's nothing installed on your server yet. If it wasn't pointed over successfully yet, you'll see a whole bunch of something that looks like ads. It'll be pretty obvious, but this is what you're after. So the next thing for us to do is to actually install WordPress so that our website actually looks like something of value. So to actually install WordPress, you need to actually log into your cPanel, which is short for Control Panel. This is like the back office for your hosting server, and you'll find that installing WordPress is really simple, just a few clicks. So back to the email that you should have received from HostGator once you purchased it. The email should look something similar to this. So earlier I showed you how to actually use the name servers and point them over to your domain. But now we're going to use this email to actually log into our control panel. As you can see, there'll be a line called Your Control Panel, and this is the link that you actually want to click to actually head over to your hosting server control panel. And then all you have to do is plug in the username and password that you received from this email to actually log into your control panel. Another handy way to actually log into your control panel is to actually type it in your URL up here. So over here I've got andysdemosite.com. If I just click onto that and add /cpanel, it's going to redirect me straight into the actual login for my cPanel. So any website that you actually point over to your hosting server, you should be able to access your cPanel just by adding a /cpal right at the end of the URL. So all it is now is just to plug in your details to log in, and I'll see you inside. So this is what the HostGator's control panel looks like. It's going to vary in different hostings, but in most cases it's going to be very similar. You can also use this page to look for your name servers as well. So if you just scroll all the way down to the bottom here, you should see name servers over here, right? And they're the same name servers that you actually received from your email. So that's just another way to actually find out what your name servers are for your hosting server. But to actually install WordPress, what we're actually looking for is a little icon called Quick Install, okay? And it'll be under Software and Services. I'm actually not going to walk you through on each of these little add-ons. It is quite technical, But if you do decide to buy another domain and point it to the same hosting server, not only do you have to use the same name service to point it to your domain, but you also have to manually add it to your add-ons domains as well. So it's fairly straightforward. You just click onto it, add in the URL that you just purchased from Namecheap, and everything should be set up automatically. Again, this is only if you do decide to buy a second domain for this hosting server, because as you're aware, the baby plan allows you to host unlimited domains. And so every time you do buy a new domain name and you want to point it over, you have to add here manually as well. Okay, so that's what I had to do. But let's move on and actually install WordPress. So just click into Quick Install. On the left side here, you'll see WordPress. And as you can see, it's a blogging software. So we'll just click into WordPress and this window will appear. So this is the actual version that you're going to be installing, and that's how big the actual size is, okay? So all you have to do is just click on Continue. Now, if this is your very first domain on this hosting server, it should automatically be default to the actual domain that you just bought. Because I have many different websites on this hosting server, you can see that there'll be a whole list of it. But all I have to do is just look for the website that I just purchased with Namecheap, just click on that, so Andy's demo site, fill in the details over here, and really all you have to do is to actually fill in your admin email, your username, and that's it. Everything else can be edited and changed within WordPress itself. So just for now, I'm just going to add in admin email. You've also got the option to keep it as auto upgrades. I do recommend that you should always update your WordPress just so that you can use all the latest features and enhance security. If you actually want to install WordPress on like a subdomain or another page, you can actually do that by entering it here. Although that is, again, that's quite technical, so I'm not actually going to walk you through that. But just know that the option's there, okay? So if you don't want that, just leave that blank. But once you're ready to go, once you've entered in your email, you've chosen your website, entered your email and your username, all you have to do is click install and it'll take a couple of minutes for WordPress to actually install. Once that's done, you'll see a little message saying, congratulations, your installation is ready. So all you have to do is just actually click on this little link here and it'll take you to the actual WordPress login page. Another way to actually log into WordPress is your actual URL that you purchased, so andysdemosite.com/wp-admin, and that will take you to the login page. And over here is your actual details. This is the username that you're going to use to actually log in, and this is the default password. Of course, you can always change your password within WordPress, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So I'm just going to click over to this link here. So as you can see, it's andysdemosite.com/wp-admin. It's going to take you over to this page over here. So I'm just going to type in my username, and I'm just going to copy this password and just plug it in there. Alrighty, so this is what the back office of WordPress looks like. I know it might look pretty daunting if you've never actually experienced WordPress before, but you'll soon see that it's actually really easy to use and they've got a really nice user interface. But the first thing you actually want to do is to actually change your password and change it to one that you can remember easier. So to change your password, you've got two ways. You can either hover your mouse over your profile name here and edit your profile, or you can go over to user and then go to your profile here. So I'm just going to do that. Then once you're on this page, just scroll down all the way to the bottom here and you'll see password. So here's where you actually want to enter your new password and then repeat the same password. There's also a strength indicator saying how strong your password actually is. So the stronger that you actually get it, the harder it is for people to actually work out what your actual website password is. So for now, I'm just going to do a really quick password, just something that I can just use quickly and ignore the very weak. So once I'm happy with the password that I just entered in, all I have to do is just click on update profile and it's good to go. So as you'll see, it will say profile updated and our new password's ready to go. So once you actually install WordPress, it's going to come with a default theme and a few default posts and pages. So a good way to actually check out what your website looks like right now is to actually hover your mouse over at the home button right here, and you'll see visit site. So generally I like to actually open it up in a new tab and always see what kind of changes I've made. So all you have to do is just right click that and open it in a new tab. And you see that this is what our actual website looks like. As you can see, it's really bland, really plain, nothing too fancy. We've got a default post called Hello World, and there's also a sample page over here as well. So if I just head back to WordPress, you can see that if I actually click my mouse over to posts, you'll see that default Hello World post. So that was that one there. And then at pages, if I just click on pages, you'll see that sample page is there. So the difference between posts and pages are, posts is designed for your blog content. So it's something that you're going to be adding on every single day for bloggers. Whereas page is more for like your important information. So like your contact us or about me or your homepage, all of that are considered pages. They pretty much work the exact same way. It's just the layout within your website is going to look different. And it all really depends on the theme that you actually get. So The very first thing that I actually suggest you to do is to look for a theme that you like. So to find an actual theme that you want to work with, just head over to Appearance. If you hover your mouse over Appearance, you'll see Themes, and let's just click on Themes. As I mentioned at the start of the video, you've got two options for themes. You can actually find a free theme within WordPress itself, or you can actually purchase a premium theme, which I'll show you a website that you can actually check out and see for yourself. But as you can see this page, at the moment, this is the theme that's activated, and this is the theme that's called 2014. And that's a default theme that WordPress installs for you. But as you saw earlier, it's not the greatest looking theme, so let's actually look for a free theme that we can work with. So first thing first, let's head over to wordpress.org themes, and these are the free themes. Now there's going to be a whole bunch of lists of different themes that you can actually work with. Each theme is really going to vary. Some themes might have extra features than others, but in most cases, themes are just your appearance of your website. So let's say you're halfway through building your website and you actually decide to change themes. By changing a theme, it won't affect any of your content, so you're not going to lose all your posts or any of your pages. Everything's going to stay the same. It's just the actual overlay, the actual appearance of your website is going to look different. So just keep that in mind. But for now, you've got a few tabs to actually check out. You've got Featured, Popular, or Latest. So just under Feature, you have a few choices to actually go with. So you've got this Woodbury, Explanade, I think that's how you pronounce it, and a few others. So you just really have to scroll along and see which one really suits your needs. And it really depends on what type of website you want to build. So if you want to build like a website for a business, you want to make sure it looks professional. So I'm just going to quickly scroll down and see what I can actually find. So this one doesn't look too bad. And if you actually want to check it out, you just click on Details and Preview, and it'll give you a live preview of what the actual website looks like. So if we were to actually install this theme over here, this is the aesthetic of what our website is going to look like. So you've got all your pages up here. So as I mentioned before, you can add different pages. There's a featured image that you can actually add onto your home page. You got individual posts or pages depending on the theme and what you actually want to use. I'm sure you can customize it. And then you've also got an added blog as well. So that's another feature that they can do. There's a widget area with your opt-in box. And yeah, and pretty much this is what the bulk of it actually looks like. So this one actually looks pretty nice, pretty clean. If I actually wanted to install it, all I had to do was just click on Store, and WordPress is going to do everything for you. But if you actually want to check out more, just click on the cross, and let's head over to the top and see what other themes that they actually have got. So this time I'm just going to click on Popular and see what's really working out there right now. So as you can see, these three themes are already installed, and all these themes are by default. Every year WordPress comes up with a new theme. So as you can see, 2012 was 2012, 2014, 2013, and they haven't actually come up with a 2015 yet, but I'm sure that's coming soon. But those are automatically installed for you. So let's actually move on and see what other themes we can actually use that looks nice. So Storefront was the one that I should actually show you as an example early on, and that's really handy for e-commerce type websites. If you want a really nice photography or visual kind of website, this one actually looks pretty nice as well. This one looks more suited for a blog, and as you can see, there's a whole list of it. So you really have to check it out for yourself and see what suits your website best. There's really no one theme that fits everything. You just really have to play around with it and see for yourself. I'm just going to quickly install a random theme just to show you as an example and how we can actually add on content and make our website look a lot better. So let's stick with the one earlier. I actually really like that one earlier, so I believe it was this one here. So colorway, yeah, it looks about right. So all we have to do is just click Install. Now it's going to actually download the actual theme, install it onto your WordPress, onto your hosting server, and then all you have to do is activate it. Okay, so as you can see, it's successfully installed. Let's activate the theme and let's check it out and see what it looks like. So it's going to take you back to this page, and you see that this is the theme that was activated, and now the 2014 is not activated, so it's not actually highlighted. So if I actually head over to my actual website earlier here and give that a quick refresh, you'll see that the same pages are still here, so that sample page is still here, so nothing has changed. It's just the actual layout of our website. So again, you've got all of this to actually show for, and this is the actual blog post. So this is the post that it was the example post, so you can see that's still there. And yeah, so it looks like a pretty nice theme, and it's something that we can actually work with. So the themes that you actually find within WordPress are free. If you actually wanted to see premium themes, themes that are more interactive, more responsive, and have a lot more features, then a website that I highly recommend you check out is ThemeForest.net, and it is by Envato. They have a ton of different theme templates that you can actually purchase and download. Not only do they have it for WordPress, they even have like HTML templates, I've got other e-commerce type templates as well for different types of platforms that if you might be using. But for now, let's just focus on the WordPress one and let's click on popular items. So this is last week's top selling WordPress themes. As you can see, it can range anywhere between $38 to $58, $63, as you can see. If you actually wanted to see what this one actually looks like, if you just click into it, they generally have like a live preview. So I'm just going to open that in a new window and I'll check out what it looks like. The only advice is if you're going to purchase a theme, you want to make sure that they constantly update the theme as well. So on the right hand side here, you'll see when it got created and when the last update was. So as you can see, 26th of January, they just recently updated that. So that's a good sign that they're constantly working on this theme. Otherwise, if you get a theme that is really old and it hasn't been updated, you'll find that there's going to be a lot of bugs and a lot of headaches to play around with it. Okay, so my only advice is to avoid themes that haven't been updated for a while. So I'll just head over to the actual website and this is what it looks like. So it looks pretty neat. It looks pretty nice. As you can see, it's quite interactive. So you can see that it just appears, the numbers. So yeah, with premium themes, you do get a lot of better features that you wouldn't with a free theme. Of course, there are really great free themes out there that you can really play around with, but sometimes you don't actually get the support that you need. Whereas if you do purchase the theme, there's always a developer to help you out along the way. So again, that's one of the great benefits of actually purchasing it. So I'll just keep scrolling down just to give you a brief idea of what it actually looks like. And yeah, so it's quite interactive. So before you actually purchase the theme, you want to make sure that it's mobile responsive, so that if you're going to resize it to a mobile screen, that it actually looks good. Because if you're going to pay for it, you definitely want that feature. You want to make sure that it's coded properly to be optimized for speed. And of course, you want to make sure it looks nice, but that goes without saying. So again, you just want to go through and you can actually see the different features, and I'm sure they'll explain it a lot more in depth. You can see that it's got powerful options with changing your colors. Responsive, this is what I was talking about. So responsive means that if you're going to resize it to a mobile screen here, it fits perfectly. And users don't have to actually zoom in and zoom out to actually use your website. These are just added plugins that they give away for free. And like I said, you get support and development as well. So yeah, so those are a few benefits of actually getting a premium theme. But just for this tutorial, I'm just going to work with the one that I just installed, so this one here. So let's see what this theme has to offer, and let's head over back to our WordPress dashboard. So generally, with the themes that you actually install, it'll come with its own options. So if you head over to Appearance, you should see Theme Options, and this is going to be different for depending on which theme you actually install. As you can see, this is for the theme that we just installed, which is Colorway, and these are the options that you can actually choose from. So I'll see what I can actually work with. So first off, it says to actually upload your custom logo, and I'm assuming it's going to be this little image over here. So just get a logo done. If you don't know where to get one, I suggest to actually head over to fiverr.com, and all you have to do is just type in logo, and I'm sure you can find a service out there that can actually create a cool looking professional logo that will suit your needs. Okay, and there are plenty of gigs out there. I do recommend to go with one that has a lot of reviews. So as you can see, there's a lot of 5-star reviews, and see check out their portfolios and see which one you actually like. So once you get that done, you just upload that image there. Make sure that you use this specifications so that it can actually fit perfectly there. Next is your custom favicon. Favicon is just a little icon that goes on top of your little search bar. So if I drag this one down here, you can see this section here is the actual favicon, and yeah, that's what it's going to look like once you've actually uploaded that. So you can make a smaller version of your logo and upload it as a favicon. And then if you've got Google Analytics, you want to install Google Analytics, you just have to plug in the code here. They make it really easy for you. Just plug in the code here and then make sure that you do press save all changes. Okay. And generally, each of these themes are going to have something similar to this. Some might be more advanced than others, but it'll be a general layout, okay? Then you've got your home top feature, your home top feature image, so 900 pixels with 350. I'm assuming it's this massive homepage image here. You've got your heading, and then you've got your link and description. So I'm guessing this box here, so that's your heading, and it's a clickable link, and that's your description. And then, once you filled all that out, you can save changes. Homepage settings, you got your intro, I'm guessing it's here. Your text, so whatever text you want to write there for your headline. Your first featured image, headline, link, and content. So each of these are considered a featured box. So you've got your image, your headline, and your description, and this generally you want to link it to a specific page. So if your website has maybe services or products, you can have one feature box about your services, one feature box about your products, and one feature box about you, about us, your company, and a contact form. Okay, and there's 4 of these boxes that you can actually play around with. So I'll just head back up. Styling options, so that's custom CSS. So I'd probably avoid that unless you actually know some coding like HTML coding and CSS, then you can play around with that. And then your footer settings looks like it's just your social media accounts. Okay, so that's that. So it looks like a pretty easy theme to actually play around with. Again, this is just your layout, your aesthetics, and not really your content. So I'm going to quickly show you how to actually create pages that you might need for your website. Okay, so over here you'll see pages, and then you'll see add new. If you just click onto add new, and here's where you want to actually fill out your details for that particular page. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly dismiss that. So let's say our page was about us, right? This is going to be the title of your page. What you write here will be displayed as your very top menu here. So just keep that in mind. Your text is, whatever kind of content you want to fill in. So I'm just going to put a little bit of text so you get an idea. And then next thing you actually want to do is just publish. And now you can see that they created a link for us called andysdemosite.com/about-us. Okay, so if someone was to actually type that into the URL, this particular page will appear. So you see that page just got published. I can just right click that, open new link, and you can see what the page looks like. So again, this is what the theme looks like for a particular page. Okay, so this is the actual home page, and this is for a page within your website. So you can see the menu bar is added to the top here with About Us. They've got breadcrumbs here. This is the actual About Us section. So where I actually put the description here, this is where you want to actually write what your website's about. So fill in the information that's required, and you can actually fancy it up. On the right side here is what they call a sidebar, and you can see that there's a whole bunch of different areas that you might not actually use for depending on what kind of website you actually deal with. And I'll show you how to change all that in a second. So that's one of our pages. If you actually want to see all the pages that you've created, you can just click on all pages and you'll see a list of it. Okay, so you've got About Us and a sample page. Maybe now I want to create a services. So you can quickly do that and publish it. So now I've got 2 pages created and 1 sample page. So as you can see there. If I head over to this home page and just give it a quick refresh, some themes actually automatically add this in for you. Otherwise, if you actually want to manually add it and actually set, which order you want to do it, you just head back to your dashboard, go to Appearance, and what these are called are menus. Okay, so those bars at the top there are called menus. So just click into Menus. You'll see this box over here. Okay, and now we actually want to structure our menu. So here you can actually get rid of any pages that you don't want to be shown. So let's say we want to get rid of sample page. We just click on the drop down arrow and click on remove. And now that's gone. Let's say we wanted to put services. We wanted to put services in front of About Us, right? You want to move that over here. Really simple. You just gotta click on it, drag it to the top, and drop it. And that's what it's gonna look like. Otherwise, if you want to set it as a hierarchy, maybe you've got many different services that they have each of their own page. You can easily just add it in. So if you wanted to add in a new page, you just, on the left side here, you'll see all the pages that you've created. You just got to tick it, add it to the menu, and it goes back onto this structure here. And then let's say this sample page was one of our services, one of many services. Just drag that, and you can see how it's indent to the service. So it's not a straight line anymore, it's indented. That means it's under this hierarchy, right? So if I was to actually create this menu, so now that menu is saved, so I just save that menu, and if I just quickly head back to the home page and just give it a quick refresh, and it stays the same. Okay, so obviously each theme is going to be different, so I think this is automatically set. Otherwise, if you actually head back to, let's say, customize, and now that we've actually created that menu and saved it, so I believe it's called menu 1, if we actually head over to navigation, yeah, you can actually set your main menu here. Generally with other themes, you can just do it straight from that appearance and menu. Some themes you actually have to customize it manually. So here you just select the menu that we just created. So we created menu 1 just earlier. Click that and it'll fix that right up. And see how the services is a hierarchy now, and that it actually takes you to sample pages. So let's say we had, 3 different services. You can actually point it under services, and each of these would be under services. And you can do that the same with all of these pages. Okay, so yeah, once we're happy with that one, just save and publish. Once that's been saved, if I give that a quick refresh, it should fix it up. So yeah, so that's that there. Okay, so that's how you actually create pages. I'm just going to close that. Another important page that every website should have is a Contact Us page. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly create that contact page, and I'll show you how we actually get a contact form up and running. I'm just going to publish that. Now, as you can see, this theme here recommends the following plugin. Okay, so plugins are like your added on features. Okay, and with this theme, as soon as you install this theme, it recommends using this contact form. You can easily install this plugin and play around with it. I personally haven't actually used this contact form before. The one that I generally use is called Contact Form 7. So if you actually click onto plugins, you'll see a whole bunch of plugins that by default WordPress would have installed. A lot of these are completely useless, and straight off the bat, I'll just delete it. So with Holy Dolly, that's completely useless. Jetpack and Mojo Marketplace, I'll just tick each of these, go into bulk actions, and just delete. Just click yes to these files. Right, sorry, I have to actually deactivate it first. So let's do that first. Deactivate and apply. And let's delete it. So what's left is Ascommit and Supercache. This is really good if you're building up a blog that allows comments, and what this plugin does is it actually filters out what comments are spam and which ones are legit. And so to activate this, you actually have to get an API key, which is free, and it's quite simple to do. So I do recommend it if you are planning to build up a blog to have this plugin installed. That way you won't actually get a whole bunch of spam comments coming your way. The other plugin that WordPress installs by default is Supercache. And what caching does is, for any return visitors, so if someone's visited your website before and they decide to head back, what caching allows is, because they've been on your website before, they would have downloaded a lot of the data from your website, like the images and the text. And so what caches does is, it pulls up that data, so they don't have to re-download it, so it loads a lot faster. So it's really handy when you want your website to load really fast. The only downfall is, because it's cached, any kind of updates, the person might not actually see it. So generally when you're making any changes, I would suggest to actually deactivate it first, update and do any changes that you need, and then reactivate it. But let's actually add in the plugin that we're after, which is Contact Form. Okay, so up here you'll see Add New, so just click on Add New. Now there are millions of plugins that you can install, and a lot of them that I haven't used before. It all depends on your website's goals, so really do your due diligence. And again, like with the themes, when you're installing plugins, you want to make sure that it's one that's constantly updated. Otherwise, you'll find that it's going to be a lot of bugs and it won't work. But in this case, what we're actually looking for is a contact form. So in this little search bar here, I'll just type in contact form, and you can see a whole bunch of them that you can actually install. So a lot of these I haven't actually used before. The one that I generally use is called Contact Form 7, and not this one here. This is integration. I could have just easily typed in Contact Form 7, but I just want to give you an idea of how many actual plugins are out there. Right, and as you can see, there are heaps. But I'm just going to go back up here and just type in 7. And this is the one I'm after, okay? So, Contact Form plugin, very simple and flexible. That's exactly what we're after. You can see it's last updated 4 weeks ago, so we know that it's constantly being updated. And there's no flaws, okay? So, again, just click on Install Now. Press OK. WordPress is going to go out there, download the theme, install the plugin to your website, and all that's left is just to activate the plugin. And now you'll notice on the left side here, you'll see a little box appear called Contact. And here's where you want to add in your contact form. So I just clicked into Contact Forms, and you see that there's already one created. They'll offer you a shortcode to actually use, but you can also edit this as well. But to put it to good use, all you have to do is just copy that little short form, head back to your pages, go to the actual page for Contact Us, and click on Edit. All that's left is to actually add it into this little text box here and just paste it. But before I actually update it, I want to show you what it looks like for the time being. So if I head back to my actual URL, I give that a quick refresh. It probably didn't add it on yet. If I actually type up here, Contact Us, it'll take me to that contact page, and this is the actual contact us page. As you can see, it's completely empty. That's because we haven't added anything in yet. If I head back over to my page, I've added the actual shortcode for the contact form. Press update. As soon as that's done, I'll give a quick refresh for the other page, so that's updated. I'll head back here, give that a quick refresh, and you see that there's a form that's added here. Of course, this is completely customizable. You can change it up and make it look a lot better, and all you have to do is just head over to your contact forms, and you can actually edit the actual contact form to how you want it to look like. Over here, it might look a little bit complicated, but you can change what you actually want to appear, so your name, so you can see that this is your name. If you wanted to change it to something else, you can just change that. You want your email, the subject, and your message, and the submit button. So that's all there for you. If you actually scroll down, you can see that which email they'll actually send it to. So if anyone was to actually fill in that contact form and press submit, you can see that it's going to send it to this email from the name that they actually wrote, the subject line, and then yeah, with the actual headers here again. So this is what the actual message will look like, depending on what message they actually type in. So pretty easy to use. Further down here is what happens after they actually sent the message. So if they've sent a message and it's successfully sent, they'll get your message has sent successfully. Thanks. Right, and you can change that message around. If it failed to get sent, then you can actually change that message as well, and a few others here. But once you're happy with that form, all you have to do is just press save, and that contact form one is being saved, and then that's the actual shortcode that I used earlier here. But since we didn't actually change anything, everything's just going to stay the same. Now let's actually change what our sidebar actually looks like. So on the right hand side here, you can see recent posts, recent comments, archives, categories, and meta. All of this can be completely customizable, and you can actually choose what you want to appear. And by doing that, what you're doing is changing the widgets. Okay, so if we head back over to our WordPress dashboard, over at appearance, you'll see a little section called widgets. So let's just click onto that. Now this little section here is what is appearing. So you've got your primary widget area, which is this section here. Okay, so at the right at the top here, you can see a search bar. So if I actually head over to this page, you can see that search bar is there. Next, you've got recent posts, recent comments, archives, categories, and meta, and everything was actually shown within that page right there. So let's say if you wanted to get rid of a few things, it's really easy. All you have to do is click on it, drag, and drop it on the left side here. These are the actual features that you can actually add onto your sidebar. If you don't want something, you just drag it to your left. If you want something added from here, you just drag it to the right. So let's just get rid of our whole sidebar first, like so. And then give that a quick refresh, and you can see what it looks like now. See how once we've got rid of all of our sidebar, everything's gone except for the search, right? That's the only thing that I left there, and you can see it right there. There are different areas of the widget as well. So this is the actual primary area. You can actually add it for your footer as well, and your second footer and your secondary widgets. And this all depends on the theme that you're actually using as well. So you really have to just play around with it and see which goes where. But let's add in our pages that we just created into our widget, into our sidebar. So over here you'll see pages. So if I just click onto that, drag it, and I just drop it under search, because I want it to be under search, you can actually give it a title. So I can write popular pages. You can sort it by page title. You can choose which pages to exclude. And once you're happy with that, let's just click on save. Once that's saved, just head back to the page, give it a quick refresh, and you should see, there you go. So popular pages, so we just added that title in there, and you can see there's home, about us. It will show all the different pages. So that's one way of actually adding your sidebar. You scroll down and see all these different other types of widgets as well. Like I said earlier, how premium themes actually have more features. With premium themes, you'll have a lot more widgets you can actually play around with. These ones are the default WordPress ones, so nothing too special. But yeah, that's pretty much what you're given for a free theme. I'm not too sure if you can actually add in more different widgets in the customized section, so I'm just going to quickly check it out and see what they've got to offer. But yeah, no, it doesn't look like there is any. Oh, there is widgets here, so maybe you can actually add more widgets. Nah, it looks like these are the default WordPress ones. So yeah, so with free themes, you know, you're really limited to the features that you can actually add. For this example, these are all default WordPress ones. So this theme didn't actually add any kind of widgets for you to actually play around with. And that's just one of the many downfalls of having a free theme. So just heading back, let's close that. So as you can see, our website's pretty much live and kicking. There's a lot more customization that you can actually work with. and really all you have to do is just spend a whole day to get your website the best looking website that you can. But WordPress is as easy as it is. Most of it is just drag and drop, finding the right plugins to actually download and install. Adding pages is very simple. When it actually comes to customizing the actual appearance itself, like I said, it really depends on themes. I do suggest to actually check out the free themes first, play around with all the different kind of themes and see what kind of options that you actually have. And then once you're ready and you really want to check out the premium themes, that's when you can just purchase it and see the difference. So obviously there was a lot more that I could have done to this website if I wanted to. But again, this was just a quick demonstration on how to actually use WordPress. What I love about WordPress is it makes it extremely easy to build up a website. And as you can see, I got this up and running within a day. I do recommend to install some important plugins like social media buttons since this theme actually doesn't have it. There's a plugin called Shareaholic, and it'll give you all these endless options for social media buttons and related pages, but it's a bit out of scope of this video. So not a bad looking website for just $30, right? It surprises me how some people pay thousands and thousands of dollars just to get their website built, when a simple platform like WordPress, you can actually build up a website in just a couple of hours and still have that slick professional look to it. So I'll leave a list of all the resources that I use under this video just so that you can actually check it out for yourself. It's actually quite easy to actually build up a website. All it takes is just to actually dive into it, get yourself a domain, get yourself a hosting server, install WordPress, and then just really play around with the features. But hey, as always, feel free to comment below with any kind of questions that you may have. And if you liked this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe. So I hope I helped you out and that I didn't go too fast for you. Thanks for watching, and go out there and build some awesome kick-ass websites.